सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहलिता श्रीशाखान्वितांश्च ॐ अज्ञाननिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मृतं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So what is the text, Prabhu, today?
Maharaj, we stopped on Adi Lila chapter 2, text 16.
660.
16.
16.
Chapter
Okay.
2, yeah, 16.
सर्वप्रथम स्मदे गुरुपाद पद्मनितला प्रविष्ट जगद्गुरु श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज जी के अभय चरणारविंदों में अनंत कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम अर्पण करता हूँ। नंतर उपस्थित दंडीपाद सन्यासी श्री श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत दंडी महाराज, नामनिष्ठ संत श्री अनिरुद्धास प्रभु जी, समस्त वैष्णवी के चरणों में मैं मेरा यथार्थ दंडवत प्रणाम अर्पण करता हूँ और उनकी कृपा की प्रार्थना करता हूँ। सो आदि लीला श्री गोविंद भजियामी तेहो मोर पति, तहार प्रसादे मोरा हाय सृष्टि शक्ति। I worship Govinda. He is my Lord. Only by His grace I am empowered. So Brahma is telling like this. Say Govinda bhajiyami teho mora pati, tahar prasade mora haya srishti shakti. I worship Govinda. He is my Lord. Only by His grace I am empowered to create the universe. Although the sun is situated far away from the other planets, its rays sustain and maintain them all. Indeed, the sun diffuses its heat and light all over the universe. Similarly, the Supreme Sun, Govinda, diffuses his heat and light everywhere in the form of his different potencies. The sun's heat and light are non different from the sun. In the same way, the unlimited potencies of Govinda are non different from Govinda himself. Therefore, the all pervasive Brahman is the all pervasive Govinda. The Bhagavad Gita clearly mentions that the impersonal Brahman is dependent upon Govinda. That is the real conception of absolute knowledge. So here it is told that just like the sun sustains and maintains all the planets, Govinda also maintains all of us. So this is very, very important. Krishna is a maintainer, he is Vishwambara. Krishna is a maintainer of everyone. So we should pray to Lord Krishna. Because of his mercy, we are all surviving. The sun is like very important. Without the sun, how can we survive? So like that, this Govinda is also sustaining us. The sun is actually Yachakshuresha Savita Sakala Grahana Raja Savasta Suramurti Ashisha Teja Yasyadnya Brahmati Samruta Kala Chakro Govinda Mahadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That the sun is like the eye of Lord Krishna, sun and the moon like the eye of Krishna. So Yasya Prabha Prabhavata Jagadanda Koti Kotishva Shesha Vasudhadi Vibhuti Vinnam Tad Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govinda Mahadi Purusham Tamam Bhaja. And sun is also illuminated by the Brahma Jyoti, the bodily rays of Sri Krishna. So everything actually depends on Krishna. Everything actually, you see that everything is Krishna only. Krishna is a maintainer, he is a sustainer. And that's why we are so grateful to Krishna. Without his mercy, we cannot survive. Tumi Sarveshwareswara Brajendra Kumara Tumara Ichhaya Mata Jagata So in this song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says that, oh, you are Sarveshwareshwara, Rajendra Kumar, Tumara Ichchai Mata. So the world is created, maintained and annihilated only by the mercy of Krishna. Without the mercy of Krishna, world cannot be created, maintained or annihilated. So therefore we are all indebted to Sri Krishna. We should all always pray to him. And also tomorrow is Mahadvadashi. Some people in ISKCON observing today, but Maharaj told that we should follow Mahadvadashi. So, Pakshavardhini Mahadvadashi. So, also very auspicious occasion. And by doing Ekadashi, we get bhakti. Madhava Tithi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kari. Krishna Vasati Vasati Bali Paramadari Bali. There is no difference between Madhava and Madhava Tithi. So, we are praying to Krishna also. So all these Brahmandas are Krishna's opulence. But this Brahma is actually Krishna's bodily effulgence. So Brahma is telling that I am worshipping that Govinda, who is my master. From him only I got the strength to create the universe. This material universe, this Brahmanda I created only by the strength of Govinda. Now quoting a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 6th chapter, 47th verse. वातवसनायः ऋषयः श्रमणा ऊर्ध्वमन्थिना ब्रह्माख्यं धाम ते यान्ति शान्ता सन्न्यासिनो मला. So this is the verse. So here, Digambara, Nirvastra. So there basically, there are some sadhus who are actually naked. Munayo Vatavasana Shramana Urdhumanthina Brahmakyam Dhamade Yanti Shantaha Sannyasino Amala. Munaya means saints. Muni means saints. Vatavasana, naked. Naked means Vata. Vata means air. They only wear air. Air means air is always around us. So if you say I am only wearing air, means you are naked. Shramana. Shramana means who perform severe physical penances. There are some sadhus who perform severe penances, and like especially Jain sadhus. Like you might have seen Jain sadhus, like Digambar sadhus, completely naked. There are some Naga Babas also. But for us, it is not recommended to be naked because Shukdev Goswami used to be naked, but because of he was like a childlike mentality. He was like a child, very childlike, completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And that's why I'm not worried about the external circumstances. Nityananda Prabhu also. Sometimes he was 25 or 30-year-old, still used to come naked and used to drink the breast milk of Shiva's wife, Malini Devi. And she also never used to feel as if, a disturbance because she used to think he's like my child. Because anyway, I think in past life, in Dwapar Yuga, she was Ambika. She was the nursemaid of Krishna and Balram anyways. So that is what the nursemaid does. Nursemaid also breastfeeds the child sometimes. When mother doesn't have enough milk or sometimes an absence of mother. So these sadhus, they are naked. But artificially we should not be naked. Because in India we see that there are many Jain sadhus, Digambar sadhus. And they are walking naked on the street and many people pelted stone at them. So they have security. People don't like it if you walk around naked. Unless you have very elevated stage like Rishabdev or Shukdev Goswami or Nityananda Prabhu or Dattatreya, we should not walk naked. But we should wear some simple clothes. We should cover our genitals with some simple dhoti. It may be cotton dhoti and upper cloth. It may be old cloth also, no harm. But don't go down naked. Always try to cover yourself. Shramanaha, who performs severe physical penances. And Urdhva, raised up. Manthina, whose semen, basically semen always likes to flow downwards, especially eating very hot and pungent foodstuffs and watching sensual movies, YouTube, this, that, talking to women too much. Also, so basically, All these thoughts make the semen flow downwards. And if the semen flows upwards, then it nourishes the brain, the finer tissues of the brain. So semen is the life force. Joint pain and the loss of hair and eye problem, sight problem, they all come because of lack of semen. If you have maintained your semen properly, then you will live 100 years and very good health. So that's why semen is very precious. Obviously, our goal is not to be perfect brahmachari, but to be perfect devotee. Whether you are grasta or brahmachari, you have to be a devotee. Brahmachari helps us, but actually that is not the aim and object. So I will not stress the importance of brahmacharya so much. As much as I will stress bhakti. Because bhakti, if bhakti will come, automatically other qualities will come. If bhakti will come, automatically sense control will come. Like in India, they did a very big program for family planning and control. They had to give a slogan, Hum do, Hamare do. Means we two, husband and wife, and we have only two children. And they were trying to control the population because they felt that population is the cause of all problems. But really speaking, population is not a problem. Uh, if the devotees are begotten, if the devotees are there, then how much people earth will produce enough grains? Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Maharaj also says like this, that don't worry, earth will be very merciful, she will give as much grains as you like, provided you are doing devotional service. So basically, question is not that you, how many children you beget. You can beget 100 children, but make them all devotees. If they are devotees, earth will support. Give more and more grains. At the time of Prithu Maharaj, earth was giving grains even without planting the seeds. So earth is so merciful. She is Harnavik Shama, mercy. But people are not chanting and remembering. That's why earth doesn't give grains. Even if people plant the seeds, she doesn't give grains. Because she is angry. Understand? So they go to the Brahma Loka. Brahma Loka. This Brahma Loka is actually Brahma Jyoti. Dhama to the abode. Dhama means abode. Our Dhama is, Dham means actually abode. When we say Vrindavan Dham, it is the abode of Krishna. When we say Navadvip Dham, it is the abode of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Dhama means the abode of the Lord. Te means they. Tat tani. They. Yanti. Yanti means they go. In Sanskrit, Yanti. Yanti. Shantaha. Equipoised in Brahman. They're equipoised. Basically, equipoised means distress, lamentation, happiness, gain, loss. Doesn't matter to them. Sannyasina, who are in the renounced order of life, Amala, pure. So naked saints and sannyasis who undergo severe physical penances, who can raise the semen to the brain and who are completely equipoised in Brahman, can live in the realm known as Brahmaloka. So in this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Vata Vasana refers to the mendicants who do not care about anything material, including clothing, but who depend wholly on nature. Wholly on nature. And we should depend on nature actually. Basically, sometimes we see that Ekadashi day, we take some fruit, water, and that's all we need actually. We simply subsist on fruit. No need to cook also. Keeping gas, stove, utensils, no need. Sadhus, they used to live in the forest, eat some fruit and drink water from the river and chant all day long. That's all they were doing. Understand? Even in Himalayas now, such situation is there. So many places in India so favorable for bhakti, some fruit are available and they would do bhakti very easily. Even if the fruit are not available, some simple vegetables can be cooked and eaten. Understand? So, so such sages do not cover their bodies even in severe winter and or scorching sunshine. So talk about it actually. In India, the winter is so severe. Once I went for Bhagavad Sapta in Ganganagar in Rajasthan. Again and again I was having actually loose motion because of the cold. And oh, so terribly cold. And I couldn't believe. So, not to wear clothes, forget about it. I was wearing thick 2, 3, 4 blankets, still it was cold. And now the scorching sunshine is so hot sometimes, in India, there are some places, especially North India, that you cannot believe. Extreme weather in Delhi, Delhi and Mathura, extreme weather actually. So they take great pains not to avoid any kind of bodily suffering, and they live by begging from door to door. And that is what we do actually, begging from door to door. That is the easiest way for living. Because the sadhus, they have no other occupation. They are only beggars. Basically, they don't have to work for anyone. They don't get any they don't have any other income actually. So basically, begging is allowed. Begging literally means madhukari. Madhukari means like a madhu means honey. Honeybee will go from flower to flower and take some honey, and she will survive. So like that, we go from and beg some little grains, little money, and we should offer it to Krishna and chant Hare Krishna in time. So those are giving, they also get some sukruti, and you also develop some sukruti. You also easy for you to maintain yourself. So begging is meant for sadhus, mendicants. They can simply beg. In India, we see that there are so many sadhus who go door to door and ask little rice or maybe sometimes wheat flour, chapatis also, in Braj Mandal also. They do madhukari. They ask chapatis to householders. One chapati, two chapatis, and somehow they get some sabji also, dal also, and they happily live a life. Few chapatis they bake and they happily chant all day long. No headache, and they can sleep anywhere, under the tree, in a cave, anywhere in the dharmashala, anywhere. Sadhus sleep. So that's why their life is very simple. They have no bank balance, sadhus. They have nothing, no attachment, very simple clothes, no any fancy gadgets, electronic gadgets. They're simply chanting all day long. Easy life. They never discharge their semen, either knowingly or unknowingly. So this is actually very, very important. Never to discharge semen, knowingly or unknowingly. Basically, if it is knowingly, then actually uh, that is also not correct. Knowingly discharge semen, understand. So the modern society is all about discharging semen, somehow or the other, through sexual union or other ways. They're trying to get rid of the semen from the system. But the sadhus, they preserve the semen because semen means one drop of semen takes 40 drops of blood to make one drop of semen. If you discharge semen even once, it's like 40 days of lunch, breakfast, and dinner is gone through that. All the vital energy is gone. Understand? Unknowingly means like nocturnal discharge, night discharge. That is also not good. So try to avoid that. Many, male students, they complain that we have nocturnal discharge. Obviously, if the body is forming the semen, sometimes there is a discharge in the night. But to avoid that, before you sleep, you wash your feet, you chant 2 rounds, avoid bad thoughts, don't eat too many spices or pickles, and look upon every woman as a mother. Understand? Don't look at them lustfully, but like mother and sister and daughter, and then you will not have the problem. Understand? And by such celibacy, they are able to raise the semen to the brain. So what happens is semen, it will go to the brain. That's called Urdhva Manthina. So then they become most intelligent and develop very sharp memories. Most intelligent and very sharp memories. So that's why the photographic memory, if you want, then you have to preserve your semen. That's why previously there were no books available, no notebooks. People used to remember verses after verses, the Vedas, entire Vedas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, they had completely maintained because of the semen. But these days, there are celibate students, understand. The whole society is about sexual attraction. Everything from television, YouTube, everywhere, cinemas, all about somehow the other, enjoy life. So their minds are never disturbed or diverted from contemplation on the absolute truth, nor are they ever contaminated by desire for material enjoyment. So if they are contemplating on the absolute truth, then how can they be contaminated by the desire for material enjoyment? Material enjoyment means basically eating nice, wearing good clothes, but the topmost enjoyment is sex life. In material world, the topmost enjoyment is sex life. Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Maharaj used to say that even an 80 or 90-year-old man, he will go to Paris to the nightclub and he will try to see naked girls there, they dance. The Sai Maharaj used to say, look, he has become so old, he cannot enjoy, but he wants to see. Understand? And what is there? Same obnoxious smell. Understand? Urine holes. So basically, Sai Maharaj very, very harsh words uses sometimes about this. Understand? But unfortunately, Maya is so strong that this body made of urine pus stool, it makes us attraction. The males feel attraction for females and females feel attraction for male. This is complete Maya. Understand? And that's why this Maya is overboard us. And we shouldn't blame women for that. It is the males only. They are the aggressors. Actually, females are never aggressors. It is the male they are at fault because they are aggressors. Understand? But anyways, we should be very careful. Males should be careful from females, and females should be careful from males. So the Gurudev says both should be very, very careful. Otherwise, it will destroy bhakti. By practicing austerities under strict discipline, such mendicants attain a neutral state transcendental to the mode of nature and merge into the impersonal Brahma. So they practice austerities under strict discipline. Discipline is very, very strict. And such mendicants attain a neutral state transcendental to the modes of nature. So basically, they are neutral means the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance don't affect them anymore. They remain neutral to the material activities. And finally, they merge in the bright light emanating from Krishna's lotus feet. Understand? So that is what they get. So here, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada is telling that Vatavasana ya Vishaya Shramana Urdamantina Brahmakhyam Dhamate Yanti Shanta Sannyasino Amala. यह जानकर कि श्री कृष्ण अतिशीघ्र अंतर्धान हो जाएंगे. So Uddhav ji, he knew that Krishna will disappear very quickly. So he began to pray at his lotus feet. Uddhav began to pray at the lotus feet. भक्तों के लिए उनके चरणों की प्राप्ति अत्यंत सहज है, परंतु अनेक कष्ट उठाकर तपस्या करने वाले सन्यासियों को परिश्रम से प्राप्त उस साधन के फलस्वरूप केवल ब्रह्मलोक की प्राप्ति होती है. So devotees are not sannyasis. Means some devotees are sannyasis, a handful, like Sripad Dandi Maharaj and others. They are sannyasis. But most of the devotees, like all of you, more or less, either brahmacharis or maybe grihasthas. Some are even matajis. So for matajis, no sannyasa ashram for them because they simply do bhajan under the guidance of their husbands, father or mother or son. Understand? Women should not be left on their own because they are like children. Anyone can exploit them. Their bodies are also very delicate. So sannyas ashram is not allowed for them because of their delicate bodies. But also they don't need a sannyas ashram because they are naturally very soft-hearted and their heart is already surcharged with devotion. So they already have all the qualification to get Shuddha Bhakti. So basically, grihasthas also, they are qualified to do bhakti and they will get a very good destination. Grihasthas who are doing bhakti, even staying with their children and husband and wife, no harm, they can get a very good destination. But these sannyasis, they do so much austerities, but as a result, what they get, they don't go to Vaikuntha. Grihasthas do Narayan Bhakti, they go to Vaikuntha. If they do Krishna's Bhakti, they'll go to Golok Vrindavan. But sannyasis who are not doing Krishna Bhakti or Narayan Bhakti, but instead meditating on impersonal light, they will only go to Brahma Loka. They will only go to Nirvishesh Dham. See, these our householders are wearing nice clothes, no problem. They are completely, and these sannyasis are wearing digambar, only naked. But no, we should not worry about it. What is the use of staying naked if you can only go to the Nirvishesh Brahmadham? Rather, you wear full clothes and chant Hare Krishna, follow Ekadashi, and go back to the spiritual world, go to Vrindavan. Understand? So, no need of doing intense austerities. In Kali Yuga also, anyways, the only austerity is Ekadashi. We only fast in once in 15 days. That's all we fast. Once in 15 days we fast. That is the only austerity we do. Rest of the time, there's not so much austerity. Or we rather take very sumptuous prasadam, dance, sing. There is not much austerity. If you want, you can practice very good austerity in Chaturmasya, taking prasadam only once, sleeping on the ground, not taking a mattress, avoiding all types of wrong vegetables like brinjal and all in Chaturmasya, and also chanting like 64 rounds, 128 rounds, 3 lakh body name like Anirudh Prabhuji is doing. That is intense austerity you can do. But you are not very strong, no harm. At least chant 4 rounds and take 2 times sumptuous prasadam. Still some benefit will come. Some benefit will come. Not that I am telling that only chant 4 rounds. No. Chant all day long. Kirtanya Asra Hari. And eat very frugally. Vachu Vegam, Manasa Koda Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udropasta Vegam, Etan Vegani Visheta Vega, Sarvam Apimam Pratimam Shishishat. Controlling the urge of tongue, belly, genitals. So we must control, but no harm. Even if someone is not doing so much sadhan bhajan, but is taking Krishna Mahaprasad, coming to temple, bowing down to Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna even once, closing his eyes and holding his hand Hare Krishna mantra. Once even he chants, still so much Sukruti will come. So much Sukruti will come by honoring Mahaprasad. There is no difference between Mahaprasad and Krishna. The only day on which we don't take Mahaprasad is Ekadashi day. Like tomorrow is Mahapakshavardhani Mahadvadashi. So, this is austerity. Other austerity, Kali Yuga not recommended too many fasting. We cannot fast too much. Like if you tell people to fast 5 days, 6 days, 10 days, they cannot fast. Understand? In Kali Yuga, people will fast at the most 1 day with great difficulty. That day also may take some fruit or water because so much hunger will trouble them. Understand? So they are also Urdhvareta. Urdhvareta means their semen is rising upwards. They have dedication for Brahma, impersonal light emanating from Krishna's body. And they have no desire for sense gratification. All these sannyasis will go to the Nirvishesh Brahmadham. Understand? So now there is a consideration of Paramatma. Next verse we will be discussing Paramatma. Atma antaryami jandre yoga shastre koy siha govindera ansha vibhuti je hai. He who is described in the Yoga Shastras as the indwelling supersoul, Atma, Antaryami, is also the very position of Govinda's personal expansion. In Yoga Shastras, he is called Atma Antaryami. There are some Shastras like Yoga Shastras. They discuss Krishna's Antaryami Swarup, Atma, who is the indwelling supersoul. And this indwelling supersoul is also a plenary portion of Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is by nature joyful. Like you see people, in the train or bus, they're all very worried. No one is smiling, no one is laughing. Very rarely people are always very tense. But Krishna, you see his face if you go to the temple, you come to the Madan Mohan temple in Tirupati or any place. Oh, Krishna is so joyful. Radharani is so cheerful and smiling. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so joyful. Because they are having transcendental enjoyment and pastimes. And these are all completely transcendental. Completely transcendental, their enjoyment, their pastimes. He is the fourth dimension of existence. For although the material world is measured by the limitations of the length, breadth and height, The Supreme Lord is completely unlimited in his body, form, and existence. Basically, we are aware of three dimensions. Understand? So, in mathematics or mechanics, we are aware of three dimensions: x direction, y direction, and z direction. Basically, these are the three directions we are aware. You see that actually here some illustration is there. Actually, I'm showing this on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. Basically, there is these directions are shown: x, y, z directions. X direction, y direction, and z direction. But Bhagavan is actually the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is generally called time also. But Bhagavan is also. Bhagavan also says in the Bhagavad Gita, "Kalasmi loka shekrut paruddho." So I am the time which destroys everything. It destroys everything. I am the time. So basically, these three directions were aware. But here, Sai Maharaj is telling the fourth dimension is Bhagavan. The material world is measured by the limitations of the length, breadth, and height, x, y, z. The Supreme Lord is completely unlimited in his body, form, and existence. His body is also unlimited. Now, Vishwarup, consider the Vishwarup. Like sometimes I went to Tirumala. And Tirumala hills, so high, so high. And I was wondering that these who created these rocks and these mountains, and and such wonderful actually that Tirumala hills. And wonder is that there is Garuda sitting in the mountain there. Uh, Garuda sitting there actually. Garuda is also present. Like for example, you see on YouTube or on internet, you'll see Garudadri mountain, and I every day look at it actually, and I was so surprised. I don't know if I can show you. Amazing actually. This is a Garuda. This Garudadri hill. This hill is shaped like exactly like Garuda. You can see here the BK here, Garuda. On leftmost side, you see the Garuda is there actually. Left side, shaped like Garuda. So it means that Garuda is present there. Understand? So this is all the body of Krishna or Anantashesh. They say that this particular hill is actually Anantashesh. Anantashesh himself has manifested. So how can Krishna create so much rock and such big things? This is all Vishwarup, body of Krishna is unlimited. Unlimited. Krishna is unlimited actually. So no limit. The material world is created by the expansion of his Purusha avatars, who direct the aggregate material energy and all the conditioned souls. So we see that this material world is created by the expansion of Purusha avatara. Purusha avatara. Purusha avatara means Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu, that he reclines in the ocean, milk ocean actually, Mahavishnu. And he's sleeping on milk ocean and he's having, basically, Mahavishnu will be seen like this. I'll show you the picture here, Mahavishnu. This is Mahavishnu actually. Yasyaka nisvasa kala mathalambya jivanti loma vidaja jagadandanaatha Vishnu or Mahamsa yasya kala vishesho Govinda Mahadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Means is one exhalation, inhalation and exhalation. Universe is created and annihilated. The lifespan of Brahma is equal to only his one exhalation. And when he inhales, all the Brahmas are gone, Shivas are gone. So that Mahavishnu is the Purusha, the first Purusha. Then his second manifestation is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And his third manifestation is Karanodakshaya, Shirodakshaya Vishnu, like this. So this Purusha Avatara, this material world is created by, Swami Maharaj is telling by Purusha Avatara. So here, who direct the aggregate material energy. Aggregate material energy here means, I think, the Prakriti or Mahat Tattva and all the conditioned goods. Basically, material world is made of two things, Mahat Tattva and conditioned souls. By understanding the three expansions of the Purushas, a living entity can transcend the position of knowing only the 24 elements of the material world. Basically, 24 elements, you all know that 5 Panchatanmatra, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 Tanmatras, means Roop, Ras, Gandha, Sparsha, smell, and like this, Panchatanmatra, and then also like this. So, Pancha Mahabhuta, Panchatanmatra, 24 elements, and then mind, consciousness, false ego, like this. So, Man, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, mind, intelligence, consciousness, and false ego. So, there are 24 tattvas. Then 25th tattva is the soul, and 25th element is actually 25th element is Paramatma. 25th element is soul, and 26th element is the super soul. So basically, we are all talking about this this thing. So this is also, you can see this on some website. They made a slide about it. That all this tattvas. It's quite famous actually. This is not something new. So this on internet, I was just looking at this file here. Okay. I hope you are able to see it. Prakriti, Buddhi, Aham, Manas. Aham means Atma and Manas means mind. So 24 elements or rivers of nature. 5 Gyanendriyas, this knowledge acquiring senses. Gyanendriya means, like for example, eyes, we can see by eyes. This is one Gyanendriya. Ears we can hear, that is Gyanendriya. And Karmendriyas means like hand, legs, inner genital, mouth, eating. 5 Tanmatras. Tanmatras means this, the topics which Gyanendriyas enjoy. Like Tanmatra means basically the form. The form we see, that is actually one Tanmatra. The smell we take is another Tanmatra. The sound we hear is another Tanmatra. And basically, sense object is called Tanmatras. And 5 Pancha Mahabhutas. Pancha Mahabhutas is earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So basically, these are 24 elements. But we have to understand the 25th element, that is the soul. And then controlling the soul is the super soul, basically. Understand? So there are actually 24 elements. And they're all coming from Sri Mahavishnu. All coming from Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is the source of everything. Understand? One of the expansions of Mahavishnu is Kshirodakasha Vishnu. Kshira literally means milk. Understand? On this material world, milk is very expensive commodity. Every morning we go Tirupati Sankirtan and people are selling milk. I ask them, what is the price of 50 rupees a liter, 60 rupees a liter, like that. But you believe it or not, there is an ocean of milk. There's an ocean of milk. So much high quality milk will be there. Actually, someone was telling that all the milks the mothers give to the children coming from the milk ocean. All the cows, what milk they give, that is also from milk ocean. Lord Vishnu reclines there in the milk ocean. Understand? So actually, someone made an illustration. I was checking. Mr. Bernard Bailey, he drew a picture of milk ocean. I said, I don't know. He's a good artist. He seems to be a good artist. He made a picture of milk ocean. Milk ocean, actually. So milk, and there is really a milk ocean. There is really a milk ocean. It is not an imagination. I don't know whether this fellow really went to the milk ocean or he just do it artistically. But in milk ocean, there is only milk, milk, milk. Understand? There's also ocean of yogurt. There's also ocean of sugarcane juice. Oh, I really want to go to the sugarcane juice ocean. I love sugarcane juice. In Navadvip Parikrama, so many devotees used to offer me sugarcane juice. It's so cheap there, 5 rupees, 10 rupees glass. In Mathura Parikrama also, sugarcane juice, natural drink, better than Pepsi Cola, Coca Cola. So anyway, there is ocean of liquor also, and ocean of so many oceans are there. So Vishnu is reclining in this milk ocean. Understand? And as the supersoul of the total aggregate of living entities, or the second Purusha, he is known as Garbhodakasha Vishnu. Garbhodakasha Vishnu, what he does, he goes and when the Brahmanda is emanating from the skin pores of Mahavishnu, or Garbhodakasha Vishnu, what he does, he goes and he enters into the each universe and he fills the entire universe by half the universe by his bodily perspiration. Understand? He fills the ocean with his bodily perspiration. Understand? And so much perspiration comes from his body. Like this. So much perspiration will come from his body. And then half the Brahmanda is filled and he sleeps in that Garbha ocean. And then from his navel, lotus comes. From his navel, lotus comes. And from lotus, the Brahmaji is sitting. And in the stem of that lotus, there are ingredients to create universes, basically. So you see that that is what is Ananda Padmanabh Swami is there. So basically, that is what the Ananta Padmanabh Swami is all about. This is the Garbhodakasha Vishnu. I'll show you the picture how the Garbhodakasha Vishnu looks. That is how the Garbhodakasha Vishnu looks. So here Garbhodakasha Vishnu is reclining on the Anandashesh or in the Garbha Samudra, and in his navel a lotus will sprout. In that Brahmaji is sitting. So Brahmaji was born from lotus, from the navel of Vishnu. He didn't have to take assistance of Lakshmi. A lot of people, they tell us, hey, you are telling don't get married, don't get married. But we are, how will the population go on? They ask like this. But we tell them, oh, don't worry. Lord Vishnu can create even without the help of Lakshmi. So if he wants, he can create so many living entities without even us get married. So we should not just get married for the sake of maintaining the human race. Human race will go on its own. Understand? Automatically it will go on. Understand? Somehow or other, someone will take the role of Prajapati, progenitor, and he will, like Gurudev used to joke with some devotees, like Mahi Bharat Prabhu. He had many children actually, and Gurudev used to tell him, you are Prajapati, you are progenitor. But all his sons were like good devotees. There's good devotees. See, we got some devotee children, and they are good singers also. Like Vijay Krishna Prabhu is an expert singer. So no harm if you get children like that. Then you can beget no problem. Understand? So we should not worry about anything. The authorized scriptures direct the individual souls to revive their relationship with the supreme super soul. As the creator of or the original cause of innumerable universes, or their first Purusha who is lying on the causal ocean, is called Mahavishnu. The three Purushas direct the affairs of the material world. Basically, Mahavishnu's pores, the universes emanate. Each universe, Garbhodakasha Vishnu will enter and fill up the half universe with his bodily perspiration. And then in each ocean, each Brahmanda, there are 7 oceans, and in one ocean, Kshirodakasha Vishnu is sleeping. If the demigods have any problems, they will generally go to him only. If the demigods have any problems, they will go to the shore of the milk ocean and they will meditate on Vishnu. And Vishnu will answer their question and solve their doubts, not directly by appearing before them, but by appearing in the heart of Brahma. Means no one else can see him, Brahma can see him, not directly, but only in the heart he can see him. Understand? So how rare is to have darshan of Vishnu? That's why this song, all of you should try to, Anup Prabhu, I think, has remembered this song. Yadyapi Samadhishu, Shatimata also, you should remember all these songs. Yadyapi Samadhishu Vidirapi Pashati Natavana Kagra Marichim Idamichami Nishamyata Vachuta Tadapi Krupa Bhuta Vichim Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande, Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande. Yadyapi samadhishu vidirapi pashyati na tava nakhagra marichim idam ichhami nishamya tavachyuta tapi krupadbhuta vichim Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva cannot see the glimpse of your toenail, but I want to see you, Lord, how difficult it is. But I'm hopeful that your mercy potency will, your Krupa Shakti will help me have your darshan. The authorized scriptures direct the individual souls to revive the relationship with the super soul. So basically, we are trying to revive our relationship. Understand? Relationships are very important because in corporate sector, when I was in corporate sector, it's all about relationship. How relationship we have with our customers, how good relationship we have with our clients, service clients, or whatever it is. When I was working on the Wall Street, it was very, very important to keep database up and running. Otherwise, clients will call, phone up and say your database is down, we are having issues getting information. So we know relationship is so important in the corporate sector or even in our day-to-day family life. Relationships are everything. Good relationship between husband and wife, relationship between children, relation between student and the teacher, relationship with your boss, colleagues at workplace, whatever it is. Relationships are very important. But we should try to revive our relationship with the Super Soul, Krishna. Understand? We have an eternal relationship with Him, but we have forgotten Him. That is a problem. He never forgot us, but we forgot Him and we are suffering. So to come out of that forgetfulness and to revive, and that is what the Guru does. Guru exactly pinpoints to us that what is the problem we are having. That you have forgotten Krishna. Like my Guru Maharaj told you, or Sripad Reddy Maharaj would have told you that you have forgotten Krishna and you have to chant His names. His names are more merciful than Him, like this. Indeed, the system of yoga is the process of transcending the influence of the material elements by establishing a connection with the Purusha known as Paramatma. So, real yoga actually. Our Modi ji is a big Yoga Day fan. A good Prime Minister actually, very nice person. But he's talking about always about yoga. Big meetings are held on Yoga Day. And he himself is doing yoga actually. See the picture, Modi is doing yoga. He's amazing. He's so fit actually in this age. Modi is so fit and he's doing yoga actually. You see here. This is the yoga. Many children also, young people, boys, girls are doing yoga with him. This is actually some asana, Bhujangasana. This particular asana is called Bhujangasana. Bhujanga means snake. Snake will like raise the hood like that. So this asana is done, it strengthens your belly and all. So this is all one type of yoga called Ashtanga yoga. One of the limb of Ashtanga yoga is basically asana. Asana is one limb of Ashtanga yoga. It has actually 8 limbs. 8 limbs. So, but we are talking about Bhakti yoga. And what Bhakti yoga, we transcend the influence of the material elements by establishing a connection with the Purusha known as Paramatma. Actually, Bhagavad Gita talks about 2 Purushas. Dvamimo Purusho Loke Sharashakshara Evacha Sharas Sarvani Bhutani Kutostaksharuchate. Uttama Purushastvanne Paramatma Dhrada Dvamimo Purusho Loke. Dvamimo Purusho Loke Sharashakshara Evacha. So, Kshara Purush and Akshara Purush. There are 2 types of Purushas. Kshara Purush and Akshara Purush. Kshara means fallible and Akshara means infallible. So, Akshara Purush also has 3 types. Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So, we should try to develop a relationship with Akshara Purusha, infallible Supreme Lord, Paramatma. And then we can transcend the modes of material nature. Try to remember this verse, Vamimo Purusho Loke, Sharashaksharaevacha, Sharas Sarvani Bhutani, Kutostaksharuchati. This verse is, I think, very, very important. I'll try to find out this verse number for you. Ram imo purusho loke. Ram imo purusho loke. Chapter 15, verse number 16. Try to remember this verse. Ramimo Purusho Loke Sharasha Vacha Sarvani Bhutani Kutustakshara Uchate. In the 14 planetary systems, the two Purushas are famous. Kshara, the fallible, and Akshara, infallible. All moving and non-moving living entities are called Kshara. And the immutable Purusha, Kutastha, is called Akshara. So basically, Bhagavan is telling that since I alone am the knower of the Vedas, who really knows the Vedas? Krishna knows the Vedas. Paramatma knows the Vedas. Understand? I will speak the essence of the Vedas briefly. Listen carefully. To explain this, Shri Bhagavan speaks this and the next two shlokas beginning here with the words Vam Imam. In this universe consisting of the 14 planetary systems, there are two conscious Purushas, beings. Who are they? In answer to this, Shri Bhagavan says, one who fails to act according to his constitutional identity is Kshara, Jiva, and he who never falls from his own Swarupa is called Akshara, imperishable Brahman. So we are called Kshara Purusha. We are fallible living entities because we are failing to act according to our constitutional identity. Our constitutional identity is that we are Krishna's servant, but we are not acting like a servant of Krishna. And that's a problem actually. That is a problem. Suppose we don't act according to our position, then we will be fired at the job. Understand? You must live up to the expectation of the boss and follow what you are supposed to do. Understand? So in this universe consisting of the 14 planet systems, there are two conscious portions. And Bhagavan is always infallible. He never fails, he never falls from his constitutional identity, or Swarupa. So, the point I'm making here is one who has thoroughly studied the intricacies of creation can know very easily that this Paramatma is the plenary portion of the Supreme Being, Sri Krishna. So Paramatma is actually the plenary portion who is in the heart of all living entities. Krishna's expansion is Paramatma, and Paramatma is present in the heart of all living entities. He may appear to be many, but actually there is only one Paramatma. Understand? Ananta Spatike Jaiche Eka Sujya Bhase. Understand? अनंत स्फटिक जैसे एक सूर्य भासे तैछे जीवे गोविंदेरा अंश प्रकाश. जैसे अनंत स्फटिक खंडों में एक ही सूर्य प्रकाशमान होकर पृथक रूप में दिखाई देता है. Understand? As the one sun appears reflected in countless jewels. Have you this experience that the sun reflected in countless jewels? Actually, that will be a very good experience, but we don't have so many jewels now. Big jewels, and the sun should be reflected in that actually. But previously in India, there used to be so many jewels actually. So that time it was possible. But later on, I think all wealth was gone. So very difficult to now find it, that type of situation. But the sun is reflected in so many jewels. So Govinda manifests himself as Paramatma in the heart of all living entities. So you'll see that in every jewel you'll see the reflection of the sun. I have experience with the mirror actually. You can say take jewels may be too expensive, but mirrors you can experiment. For example, you take 5 mirrors. They are very cheap, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, and you keep them, and you'll see that you can see the reflection of sun in each mirror. You can see reflection of sun in each mirror. But actually, there are not many suns. Only one sun is there. But he will be reflected in so many mirrors. So many mirrors he will be reflected. So like that, Govinda is also one, but he is appearing in the heart of all living entities. Although he is one, he appears to be many, but actually he is only one. Understand? So basically what happens that the sunlight is reflected. like you can see in this picture here. This illustration here I was checking that the sun rays will be reflected. I'll show you this picture actually. You'll see that here this one ray of the sun is coming and reflecting off. The second ray is coming, reflecting off. Third ray. So as many mirrors are there, from each surface of the mirror, the sunlight will be reflected. Understand? So wherever it is reflected, it will appear that there is another sun, another sun, another sun. If there are 100 mirrors, it will appear that there are actually 100 suns. But really speaking, there are not 100 suns. There is only one sun. So like that, Paramatma is in the heart of all living entities, but actually he is one. Understand? The sun is situated in a specific location, but is reflected in countless jewels and appears in innumerable localized aspects. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although eternally present in his transcendental abode Golok Vrindavan, is reflected in everyone's heart as the super soul. Krishna is happily staying in Golok Vrindavan, but he is also present in the heart of everyone as the super soul. In the Upanishads, it is said that the Jiva, living entity, and the Paramatma super soul are like two birds sitting in the same tree. So you'll see that there are two birds. Two birds, they are sitting on the same branch of a tree. And one bird is tasting the bitter fruit and one sweet fruit. The other bird is only witnessing. He is not taking the sweet fruit, bitter fruit. He is simply watching the other bird. Understand? So you can see that one is Atma and other one is Paramatma. Understand? So Atma basically is relishing the fruit of action. But Paramatma has nothing to do with it. Paramatma has nothing to do with it. You'll see that in illustration here that there are two birds sitting on a branch. So these two birds basically, although they are sitting on a branch, they are actually, one is eating fruit, other one is not eating fruit. Suppose you see this picture out here. Like there are, you can see here the two birds are sitting here. And then one bird is Atma and other one is Paramatma. Understand? So Atma is relishing the good and bad, sweet and bitter fruit. But Paramatma is simply witnessing like that. So Paramatma is always with us. And Paramatma is same. For everyone the Paramatma is same. Atma may be different. Everyone's Atma is different. But Paramatma is not different. Because Paramatma is only one. And Paramatma is Krishna himself. Understand? So you all are actually under the guidance of Paramatma. Understand? So this verse from Upanishad says, Dva Suparna Sarija Sukhaya, very famous Upanishadic verse or Shruti. The super soul engages the living being in executing fruitive work as a result of his deeds in the past. So sometimes due to our past deeds, we are attracted to the fruitive action, and super soul actually guides us how to do that. But the Paramatma has nothing to do with such engagements. Although super soul is engaging everyone in the fruitive action, but he has nothing to do with these actions. As soon as the living being ceases to act in terms of fruitive work and takes to the service of the Lord, Paramatma, coming to know of his supremacy, he is immediately freed from all designations, and in pure state he enters into the kingdom of Godhead known as Vaikuntha. So basically, we should stop acting in a fruitive manner. Like Prahlad, he told, I am not Vanika. He told, I am not Vanika. I am not a businessman. Nrsimhadev was telling him, ask some benediction. He said, no, I am not a businessman. I did your bhakti not for some asking some material benefits. Not for asking any material benefits. I don't want any material benefit. I only want to do unalloyed bhakti to you. Understand? So when we stop like Prahlad, all the fruitive activities and only engage in bhakti, we become free. We are actually liberated. So we become free from all designations. And when we go to Vaikuntha, if we become like Prahlad, detached like Prahlad, and only doing bhakti and not asking any material benefits, we will go to Vaikuntha. The Paramatma or the super soul, the guide of the living beings, does not take part in fulfilling the desires of the living beings, but he arranges for their fulfillment by material nature. Suppose you want beautiful wife, it will not be provided by Paramatma but by material nature. Prakriti, Durga will do that. As soon as an individual soul becomes conscious of his eternal relationship with the super soul and looks only towards him, he at once becomes freed from the material engagements of material enjoyment. Well, all we have to do is focus our mind on Krishna, remember Krishna, be attached to Krishna, dedicated to Krishna. Immediately will be freed from the material enjoyment. Christian philosophers who do not believe in the law of karma put forward the argument that it is absurd to say one must accept the results of past deeds of which he has no consciousness. A criminal is first reminded of his misdeeds by witnesses in a law court and then he is punished. Understand? Criminal basically, he is actually he is made to stand in the there and the case is going on and then you see that there are so many witnesses will come and they say that he stole like this, he did this action, that action. So the convict, basically, a criminal who is under trial, is actually reminded of his, he's actually reminded of his past misdeeds, like you can see here. Actually, one person is being tried, he's undergoing trial. So there is actually a policeman, he's handcuffed him, I think. Understand? And he actually, he's been told, this particular person has been told what he did, why he should be punished like that, arguments, counter arguments. There'll be a lawyer supporting him, there'll be a lawyer opposing him, and he has to defend himself, why I should not be convicted, how I am not guilty, like this. So basically, the point here is that a man may not remember what he has done in childhood, but his father, who has seen him grow through different stages of development, certainly remembers. Similarly, living beings undergo many changes of body through many lives, but the super soul is always with him, remembers all his activities, and despite his evolution through different. So Krishna doesn't forget us. He exactly knows what we did in past life, past to past life. So many things Krishna remembers. So Krishna is eternally actually guiding us. He is willing to help us only if we call on him. Because Krishna knows how many bodies we have changed. Millions and millions of bodies we have changed. So this is very, very important that we not waste this human form of life and try to do very good bhajan. So Paramatma is only one. The living entities are innumerable. Just like the one sun will reflect in innumerable crystals, and each crystal will be able to see the reflection of the sun. Similarly, only one Paramatma manifests in the form of billions and billions of living entities as their Antaryami. So Paramatma is present as the indwelling super soul of so many living entities, innumerable living entities. Understand? Actually, reflection is not the real object. Understand? Although the crystals may have reflection of the sun, reflection is not the real object. Actually, it is not a correct analogy because the reflection of the sun in the crystal is not real. Understand? But Paramatma, who is reflected in the heart of the living entity, is actually real. He is not like a imaginary, like the reflection of the sun. So by power of his inconceivable potency, Bhagavan manifests in the innumerable heart of innumerable living entities in different forms. It is not possible that the super soul will have reflection because Paramatma is aparichinna, is unlimited, is very big. He is not a covered or limited object, Paramatma. He is not a covered or limited object. It is possible that only a limited small object can have a reflection. For example, I have this mobile phone. It is very small. It is only few inches, 6 inches, 7 inches, and by 2 inches, and thickness maybe half inch, 1 inch. So small old mobile, I can see its reflection. I can see that it is reflected in the camera now. But can you see the reflection of the sky? Probably you are not able to see even the roof in my camera here because the roof is a little bigger than the camera where it can go. So Paramatma is unlimited. He is not limited. Understand? So he cannot have a reflection. So limited object can have a reflection, but the big object like Paramatma cannot have a reflection. There are so many living entities. Some are demigods, some are human beings, some are animals, some are birds, some are insects, some are flies, like this. So living at the Paramatma at the time of creation is present in the heart of all these living entities as the indwelling person. So some people may say that if Paramatma is in the heart of all living entities, Paramatma must also be separate like the Jivas. So to remove this doubt, it is told that Paramatma is only one. Paramatma stays in the body like the soul also stays, but it is not due to the past karma. But this is Paramatma has a special pastime, that's why he stays in the heart of all living entities. Paramatma has nothing to do, he is beyond the modes of material nature. And the living entity has no relationship with the Paramatma. The living entity's body has no relationship with Paramatma. We are not on bodily consciousness, so we don't have any relationship with the. So जीव की देह के साथ परमात्मा का कोई संबंध भी नहीं है. वे निर्लिप्त भाव से जीव के अंतर्यामी रूप में जीव की देह में अवश्य होते हैं. So it's present without any attachment in the Paramatma is present in the heart of all living entities in the form of indwelling super soul. We'll stop here now. I think it's late, and I thank you so much. Thank you so much. And tomorrow also we are fasting for Mahadvadarshini. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And Shaji Mata, she would like to sing song.
Yes,
Okay.
Maharaj.
All right. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Jai
Please go ahead.
Shri Gaura Bhakti-Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chant, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Rama.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Rama
Rama Rama.
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Hare
Rama Rama.
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama.
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna. Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Hare
Hare Rama.
Rama,
Rama.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Rama
Rama Rama.
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Rama.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Rama
Rama Rama.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Rama Rama
Rama Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri
Nanda
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara Sri
Gadadhara
Bhakti-Vedanta
Srivasadi Gaur
Bhakti-Vrinda.
Bhakta.
Thank you, Maharaj, for chorus
Hare
me.
Krishna. Thank you so much,
Thank
Didi.
you.
Hare Krishna. Dandavata.
I want
Thank
you
you
to
so much.
chorus me.
No
It
problem.
sound good.
No, there is nothing to correct in Mahamantra. Mahamantra is never wrong, always right.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Hare Krishna,
Good.
Hare Krishna.
Good.
But you are
Hare
singing
Krishna.
very sweetly. Thank you, Didi. Hare Krishna. Like a nightingale.
Good.
Hare Krishna.
So then we're gonna chant different air every week.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Didi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Dandavata. Thank you, everyone. Hare
So
Krishna.
so Buddha Maharaj is coming to Guyana on the 12th.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That's
Mm.
wonderful.
So he's gonna be at my house on the
Acha.
13th.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
I'm taking him to the television station to give a talk on
Oh,
the
wonderful.
radio station.
Oh, Jai, 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 Jai. I'm so happy.
Yes,
Hari
and then he said he's gonna do a little Hawan in my house. So I said I'm going to tell you because I want Dandi Maharaj to know that he's gonna do a little Hawan in my house.
Ah, okay.
Mm.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Yeah.
Hari Bol. No, I know him actually. He came, Maharaj, good friend actually.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they used to, whenever he used to come to Karnataka, I used to invite Maharaj. Then Maharaj used to always help him, in preaching also.
Okay.
And yeah.
Actually, he
Ah,
wasn't getting a visa to come to Guyana.
oh,
So I went, they had a wedding last week in Guyana, the Haribol Temple.
acha.
And the Guyana president was there. And I
Oh,
went to him and I asked him permission and he gave me permission, and I went to the embassy and I got a visa for him to come.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
So for that reason, he said he's going to come and visit me at my house.
Oh, wow. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah,
We are very
I'm
happy.
happy. I
Jai,
will
Jai.
see when he come. In my consciousness, he will bring Dandi Maharaj with him.
Yeah. Actually, Krishna Bhakti Mula hai Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha
Yeah.
is very, very important. Without Sadhu Sangha, we cannot advance.
Yeah.
So, sadhus, they travel to only preach the glories of. We are all one family, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's family, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati
Yeah.
Prabhupada's family. So, we all Gaudiya
So,
Maths are one.
so when you're coming to Guyana, I know the president already, so I will get permission to get a visa for you also.
Sure. Definitely.
I'm trying to do something with. I want to work a little with the government in order to set up something so that in the future, if I have to bring any Gaudiya Math Swami here or Maharaj here, I will able to promote them on the television, on the radio station, and stuff like that.
Oh, wonderful. Jai. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you,
So
Vijay. Hari.
I will chant with you all different air and Maha Mantra, and you're gonna follow. I'm gonna sing first, and you're gonna sing. However you sing, it doesn't matter. We're gonna learn one day.
Sure.
Yeah. And I will set up a music at the background to give it a lift.
Wonderful. Hare Krishna.
Actually, Siddhanti Maharaj is coming tomorrow in Guyana, and I met one of his devotee from Hong Kong, and she has a degree in computer science.
Acha.
So she told me that when she will come here to Guyana, she will spend the 8 days with me, and she will help me. She will help me to better understand the computer system.
Oh, really?
So if I can set up a system here, I will able to forecast your stuff on the television, on the Facebook and stuff.
Wonderful.
So let's see how far it will take us.
Sure.
Once it get established and it go around Guyana, you will get a chance to come.
Jai. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Vijay. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, can I ask you something?
Yes.
I actually rent a bigger place in Georgetown in my country, in the city. I opening another business in central in central Georgetown. I want you to advise me on what I have to do before I go in and start the business.
Acha. I'll ask Maharaj because there is some puja or Agnihotra. I'll ask Maharaj what to do,
I was planning to go in on the 1st of July. Ask him and let him tell me which day, what to do, what not to do, and I can discuss it with you right here.
Sure.
Because I'm hearing you clear here more than the WhatsApp.
Okay, sure. I'll ask Maharaj.
Yes, and you can actually text me or call me.
All right. Sure.
Yeah, because I want to. I go in just now to fix up the place, to set it up, and clean it up and so. But before I go in, I want to do something. So you can help me with that, please.
Sure. Definitely. Hari Bol.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Chaitanya Prabhu.
No problem, Maharaj. Shishi Guru Gauranga Gadarika Giridhari Radha Vinod Bihari Ji ki Jai.
Jai.
ओम विष्णुपद अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत विष्णु देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय।
जय जय जय
ओम विष्णुपद अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत दांडी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय।
जय जय
नित्य प्रविष्ट विष्णुपद स्तोत्र शास्त्र श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय।
जय जय
नित्य प्रविष्ट विष्णुपद स्तोत्र शास्त्र श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय।
जय
नित्य प्रविष्ट विष्णुपद स्तोत्र शास्त्र श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय।
जय जय
नित्य प्रविष्ट विष्णुपद स्तोत्र शास्त्र श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय।
जय जय जय
नित्य प्रविष्ट विष्णुपद स्तोत्र शास्त्र श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय जय
नित्य प्रविष्ट परम भगवत प्रभार श्रील गौरी किशोर दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय।
जय
नित्य प्रविष्ट श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री गौड़िया वेदांत आचार्य श्रील बलदेव विद्याभूषण प्रभु की जय। श्री विष्णुपति ठाकुर की जय। नरोत्तम श्यामन प्रभु त्राय की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री रूप सनातन बात रघुनाथ जीव गोपाल बात श्री स्वरूप समुदाय रामानंद जी गौर प्रसाद विंद की जय। नाम आचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सती गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री अंतर्द्वीप नायक सीमान द्वीप गोधूम द्वीप मध्य द्वीप कोला द्वीप ऋतु द्वीप जानु द्वीप मुद्रा ध्रुव द्वीप रुद्र तिब्बत मकाशी नवद्वीप धाम की जय। श्री श्री रामकृष्ण गोपा गोपी गो गोवर्धन द्वादश वनत्मका शिव मंदिर की जय। श्री राधा कुंज श्याम गंगा यमुना तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय। श्री पौर्णमासी योग माय की जय। श्री गोपीश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। श्री श्वेत मंदिर की जय। सर्व विघ्न विनाशकारी श्री नरसिंहदेव की जय। भक्त प्रभा श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। चार धाम की जय। चार संप्रदाय की जय। चार आचार्य की जय। अकर महाराज चैतन्य मात की जय। श्री केशव जी गौरिया मात ओता सक मात समूह की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय। श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। सामगाद भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमन हरि हरि बोल।
हरि हरि बोल। अनुकृष्ण प्रभु की जय। Thank you.
Maharaj,
Mm.
Yogini Ekadasi. What is the meaning of Yogini Ekadasi today?
Yogini, actually, this one, maybe Yogini means actually one who is doing austerities. One who is doing austerities. It's called Yogini Ekadashi. Basically, it removes all kinds of sinful reactions. And it is, but we are fasting tomorrow because Maharaj told that there is some special calculations about the new moon day. It comes in the month of Ashad, June or July time.
So tomorrow is actually Ekadasi?
Tomorrow we are fasting here, tomorrow. You have to check Pure Bhakti on your website.
I will join though. I will join. I will fast tomorrow as well. Today is Ekadasi, they said for us.
Okay, then it's okay. Because
I can continue tomorrow.
Actually, Maharaj told me that today I took only fruit and tomorrow also I'll take only fruit. Because Maharaj said, because today is also Ekadashi and tomorrow is Mahadvadashi, so Maharaj said do both. But it's not possible. Maharaj told you do only Mahadvadashi tomorrow. Some eastern part of India is today, and the western part of India is western part of India is today, eastern part of India is tomorrow. Something like this. For the western part of India is tomorrow, and eastern part of India is today. Some special calculations based on the sunrise time.
Okay.
This Ekadashi actually delivers people who are drowning in the vast ocean of material existence, and it transports them to the shore of the spiritual world.
Yes, that's true.
Actually, what happened that there was a king of Alkapuri, Kubera, the treasurer of the Devas, demigods, who was a steadfast devotee of Lord Shiva. He employed a servant named Hemamali as his personal gardener. Hemamali, a yaksha like Kuvera, was very lustfully attracted to his gorgeous wife, Swarupavati, who had large, enchanting eyes. So Hemamali's daily duty was to visit Manas Sarovar lake and bring back flowers for his master Kuvera, with which he would use them in the puja offering to Lord Shiva. One day, after picking the flowers, Hemamali went to his wife instead of returning directly to his master and fulfilling his duty by bringing the flowers for the puja. Absorbed in loving affairs of a bodily nature with his wife, he forgot to return to the abode of Kuvera. O king, while Hemamali was enjoying with his wife, Kuvera had begun the worship of Lord Shiva as normal in his palace and soon discovered that there were no flowers ready to be offered in the midday puja. The lack of such an important item, upachar, angered the great Kushada Yaksha, treasurer of the Devas, even more, and he asked a Yaksha messenger, why has dirty-hearted Hemamali not come with the daily offering of flowers? Go find out the exact reason and report back to me in person with your findings. The Yaksha returned and told Kuvera, oh dear Lord, Hemamali has become lost in freely enjoying coitus with his wife. Kuvera became extremely angry when he heard this and at once summoned lowly Hemamali before him. Knowing that he had been remiss and dawdling in his duty and exposed as meditating on his wife's body, Hemamali approached his master in a great fear. The gardener first paid his obeisances and then stood before his lord, whose eyes had become red and with anger, and his lips trembled in rage. So enraged, Kuber cried out to Hemamali, oh, you sinful rascal, oh, destroyer of religious principles. You are a walking offense to the Devas. I therefore curse you to suffer from white leprosy and to become separated from your beloved wife. Only great suffering is deservedly yours. O low-born fool, leave this place immediately and betake yourself to the lower planets to suffer. So Hemamali fell at once from grace of Alagapuri and became ill with the terrible affliction of white leprosy. He awoke in a dense and fearful forest where there was nothing to eat or drink. Thus he passed his days in misery, unable to sleep at night due to pain. He suffered in both winter and summer season. But because he continued to worship Lord Shiva himself with faith, his consciousness remained purely fixed and steady. Although implicated by great sin, its attendant reactions, he remembered his past life because of his piety. After wandering for some time here and there over mountains and across plains, Hemamad eventually came upon the vast expanse of the Himalayan mountain ranges. There he had the wonderful good fortune to come in contact with the great saintly soul Markandeya Rishi, the best of the ascetics, whose duration of life is, it is said, extends to 7 of the days of Brahma. Markandeya Rishi was seated peacefully at his ashram looking as effulgent as a second Brahma. Imam Ali, feeling very sinful, stood at a distance from the magnificent sage and offered his humble obeisances and choice prayers. Always interested in the welfare of others, Markandeya Rishi saw the leper and called him near. Oh, you, what sort of sinful deeds have you done to earn this dreadful affliction? Hearing this, Hemamali painfully and ashamed replied, dear sir, I am a Yaksha, servant of Lord Kuvera, and my name is Hemamali. It was my daily service to pick the flowers from the Mansarovar lake for my master's worship of Lord Shiva. But one day I was negligent and was late in returning with the offering because I had become overjoyed with lusty passion for enjoying bodily pleasures with my wife. When my master discovered why I was late, he cursed me in great anger to be as I am before you. Thus, I am now bereft of my home, my wife, and my service. But fortunately, I have come upon you, and now I hope to receive from you an auspicious benediction. For I know that devotees such as you are as merciful as the Supreme Lord, Bhakta-Vatsal, and always carry the interest of others uppermost in the heart. That is your nature. O best of sages, please help me. Softened, Markandeya Rishi replied, because you have told me the truth, I shall tell you about a fast day that will benefit you greatly. If you fast on the Ekadashi that comes during the dark fortnight of the month of Ashad, you will be surely freed from this terrible curse. Hemali fell to the ground in complete gratitude and offered him his humble obeisances again and again. But Markandeya Rishi stood there and lifted poor Hemali to his feet, filling himself with inexpressible happiness. Thus, as the sage had instructed him, Hemamali dutifully observed the Ekadashi fast, and by its influence, he again became a handsome yaksha. Then he returned home, where he lived very happy with his wife. Lord Sri Krishna concluded, so you can readily see, or Yudhishthir, that fasting on Yogini Ekadashi is very powerful and auspicious. Whatever merit one obtains by feeding 88,000 Brahmins is also obtained simply by observing a strict fast on Yogini Ekadashi. For one who fasts on this sacred Ekadashi, Ekadashi Devi, destroys heaps of past sinful reactions and makes him most pious. O king, thus I have explained to you the purity of Yogini Ekadashi. Thus ends the narration of the glories of Ashad Krishna Ekadashi or Yogini Ekadashi from Brahma-Vibharta Purana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh, so the whole essence of the story is this this devotee did not carry the flower to the puja because falling like a prey under some influence.
Yes, yes. Basically, he kind of attached his wife. He forgot to bring the flowers for the service of Lord Shiva. And then Kubera cursed him to have white leprosy. And then basically he was freed by the mercy of Markandeya Rishi. He told him to do Ekadashi. Ekadashi frees you from all types of problems, or sins. Ekadashi is like greatest of the panacea for all the problems, sins, offenses. Understand? Because Ekadashi is mother of bhakti. What happens actually that when you do Ekadashi, bhakti manifests in the heart, and bhakti purifies you completely. Understand? Ekadashi is the mother of devotion. So that's why we should fast on Ekadashi.
So important.
Yes. We should always.
Bhakti in the heart is necessary because a lot of people use their tongue wrong and commit a lot of sin.
Sins is not a problem because sins can be eradicated. But offenses are more dangerous. Understand? If you commit offenses,
what offenses? Like they tell me,
like criticizing the Vaishnavas, Satang Ninda Namnaha Paramaparadam Vidunati Yatakhyati Musate Tad Vigraham. So we are criticizing any Vaishnava, that becomes a very big offense. But if you are not criticizing a Vaishnava, then your life will be very peaceful. And even if there is a reason, don't criticize anyone. If you don't criticize anyone, then you are okay. Understand? Don't glorify others and don't criticize others. Because everyone, if we criticize, then we have problem. Especially Vaishnavas, we should avoid criticizing them. Because Guru and Krishna will look after them if they have done any mistake. But we should
and
not
glorifying? And glorifying?
Glorifying Vaishnavas we can glorify, but don't glorify the materialistic persons. Because if we glorify the materialistic persons, then the attachment will come in your heart. Suppose, say, for example, I have glorified Donald Trump. Then I will develop attachment for his activities also. So basically, is a staunch materialist person like Donald Trump or say Putin or anyone like that, or Bill Gates. What is the point in glorifying them? Don't criticize them, but don't glorify them either. Understand? So this is very, very important. If you don't criticize them and don't glorify them, if you criticize them, then all their bad qualities will come in you. And if you glorify them, attachment will come in the heart. But you can glorify your spiritual master, no harm. Instead of criticizing, glorify the Vaishnavas or high-class Vaishnavas like Prahlad Maharaj, Gurudev, my Gurudev, Sripad Dandi Maharaj. You can glorify them. Sripad Bodhan Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, Lord Krishna Babaji Maharaj. If you glorify them, then your attachment to Krishna will improve. Understand? The pure devotees we should glorify. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Vishwanath Thakur, we should glorify them. Lord Shiva, Brahma, Narad, Purnamasi Yogamaya, Lalita Vishakha, Sita Ram, Lakshmana, Bharat, Shatrughna, Hanuman. We can glorify these pure devotees. But we shouldn't glorify the materialistic persons. Understand? Actually, materialistic persons, they may have many good qualities, but ultimately, if they are not devotees, it's all useless. Understand? It is very, very important to have bhakti. Bhakti is Mahadevi. Bhakti, even if a dog eater, a low class person, poor person has bhakti, then he's superior than the President of America. Understand? And if the President of America has no bhakti, what is the point? He is wasting his life. Understand? One who created this earth, water, he gave us eyes, ears, mother, father, all facilities. If we cannot glorify that Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, oh, what is the use? Understand? Everything, Krishna is so merciful. He is more merciful than millions of mothers. We cannot compare the mercy of Krishna. We cannot compare the mercy of Krishna. Understand? Krishna has given us everything. So that's why Gurudev says that, always chant the holy name. Never complain, never criticize, and never stop chanting. These are the three C's. These are the three things. Never criticize, never complain, and never stop chanting. Understand? Always glorify others, but never criticize them. Even if there is a reason to criticize. Many times devotees say, oh, he's such a bad devotee, I want to criticize him. No. Even if there is a reason, you should not criticize. Even if there is a reason to criticize, you should not criticize. That is the whole point. Because all the bad qualities of that person will come with us. Suppose you touch an electric wire, what will happen? Current will come.
Yeah.
So that's why we should not criticize. Although there may be a cause to criticize, don't criticize, but rather glorify everyone. Possible, glorify, otherwise don't criticize. Parasvabhava karmani na samshet na garhet vishwam ekatmakam pashyan prakritya purushya. Don't criticize others, don't glorify others. The Bhakti Vaman Goswami Maharaj used to say, Tekbe, shunbe, bolvena. You should see, but don't. You should hear, see, but don't talk. Don't criticize. Even if someone is doing wrong, you should not criticize. So the second offense is like that, thinking that Shiva is separate from Vishnu. No. Shiva is avatar of Amishavatar or Guna avatar of Krishna. And we worship Krishna, automatically everyone is happy. Because Krishna is the source of everyone anyways. Understand? So we should not give up the worship of Krishna to worship other demigods. Understand? Because they are part and parcel of Krishna. You worship Krishna, automatically Shiva, Brahma, Ganesh, all are worshipped. There is no need to separately worship Shiva or Brahma or Ganesh or Kartikeya, Durga. No need. You worship Radha Krishna, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everything in them. Because Bhagavatam says like that, Janma Dasyato. Everything comes from Krishna, he is the source of everything. So have complete faith in Krishna Nam. Satamrita Namna Paramaparadam Vitanati Yata Khyadi Musate Tadvigarha. Shivasya Shri Vishnuriya Namadi Vinnam Diya Pasyat Sakali Nama Itakara. Guru Ravati, don't disobey your spiritual master. If you want happiness, then you should not criticize your spiritual master and don't disobey him. Don't have any mood that, oh, what is Guru? He's just an ordinary living entity. He knows only a little bit shlokas than me, but otherwise I am and he are the same level. No. The Martya Buddhi Asuyata. Don't have this Martya Buddhi that he is an ordinary mortal soul like me. No. That is hellish mentality. Guru should be treated like Krishna. Understand? We cannot repay our Guru. We should think that Krishna himself has become Guru and teaching us. He is the Shakti of Krishna, he is the pure devotee. He is Krishna's copy like this. Mood should be there to the Guru. Understand?
So we can chant a little bit then.
Then by humbly you can chant the holy name. Understand?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I think Maharaj is left. Thank you everyone for joining for today's class and hope you have a blessed Ekadasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.